So I made a video, my last upload, people kept asking for a detailed recipe on how to make that yummy, the most delicious Enugu State Okpa, because you guys know that Enugu State has the best Okpa, okay, yeah. And I grew up in Enugu, so I learned from the best. So in today's video, I want to quickly show you guys how to make simple, tasty, yummy looking fluffy okpa, like confirm okpa Enugu. And to be very honest, if you try this recipe, you'll be glad you did, because you will have the best of the best results. So I started this video already, and I was like, let me just film this recipe for you guys, because guess what, the outcome of this okpa was worth your time, like to definitely worth your time and your data. Okay, so the only thing I added here was just palm oil to my okpa, and I brought this okpa out from the freezer. I've actually stored this okpa for almost 6 months, more than 6 months. Okay, so I'm here to tell you that okpa can last as much as ever. It can last 1 year, 2 years in your freezer. Just make sure you're storing it in the freezer and also in an airtight container. So after I mixed it properly with oil, I needed to add water. Ignore the fact that you can see lots of lumps. We'll still find out by the end of this video how I'll be able to get rid of all that lumps. Okay, and like I said before, the difference between okpa and moi moi, that's beans pudding, is that okpa needs lots of water because okpa is hard, while you don't need all that water if you're to make moi moi. So go ahead and add the water, but please note, watch this video very well so that you find out the right consistency for your okpa, in case if you're still struggling on how to, like, some people complain that when they make the okpa it comes out watery. Some people also complain that when they make the okpa it comes out so thick, like as strong as stone or bread, hard bread. Okay, but on this video my okpa was really very fluffy and extremely delicious, like the right the right texture. Okay, so because I noticed that it has lots of lumps, I stored it in the freezer, so it is expected I had to like dissolve with my hands. Okay, the wooden spoon or the spatula wouldn't do much work for you. At the point, you have to go with your hand. So I did, and I also had to sieve the excess with my sieve. This will help to also break in the hey, Anambra woman. This will also help to break in the lumps. Okay, so that we get a very fine texture. Okay, like you wouldn't want lumps in all your okpa at all, like at all. Can you see the consistency we are going for? Don't worry, I will still show you guys very well so that you find out the right consistency for your okpa. So please note, you must have a boiling water, like it is a must. Let that water boil before you throw in your okpa. Unlike moi moi, if you're making moi moi, you might just have to lay it in the pot and then add water. But if it's okpa, please make sure that the water is already boiling. Then I have to pound the pepper roughly with mortar and pestle, because I want it to be chunky inside the okpa, like I want to be seeing it. Okay, so if you need to make okpa, all you need is just basic ingredients, just 3 ingredients: salt, pepper, and uziza, which is highly optional. Then you need palm oil. So I just tested this and I noticed that it lacked some salt. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. You can also add seasoning cubes, which for me, you might not necessarily need that because okpa needs to be very natural. Okay, I'm going to add more salt to this, and I usually see this so that I can get rid of the lumps. You wouldn't want your okpa to have lumps, like so I'm going to allow this to let this properly to dissolve, test it again, and then we'll wrap it together. And also make sure that you have a boiling water before you add your okpa to the oil, to the water. Otherwise, you may not like the result. To be very honest, it took me months, even year, let me just say months, for me to get the right consistency for my okpa. So that is it, you guys. I kept on pouring the okpa so that you guys will see the right consistency. It shouldn't be too watery or too thick, so that you can get the perfect texture. Okay, so it's time to wrap, and what I advise you to do is always make sure you double your nylon. If you're using elewa leaves, some people use elewa, that's plantain wrap, some people use banana wraps, some people use foil, some people use plates. You know, there are a lot of things you can wrap your okpa with, but because I store most of my okpa in the freezer for school lunch, I usually love to like wrap them in bags, so to save space. Even though I know elewa leaves will save space, but how do you guys heat up these things without water penetrating? So nylon bags, even though I heard it's not all that safe, does it perfectly for me. Like you can see, my water is boiling. Okay, and I love, like I said before, I love chunks of pepper. I noticed that some people also add eggs, but because I store in the freezer as well, I don't add eggs in my okpa. But what I do is that if I'm to serve it, I boil egg and then add as a side dish for school lunch or breakfast, whatever thing we're eating it with. Okay, some people also add vegetables in there, but there are a lot of things you can find in Enugu okpa, even akidi, oba. Like there is literally nothing. You can pair this with anything. Okay, so I wrapped. Please note, always double your nylon, because the quality of nylon we have in the market these days is very, very inferior and very poor. Let's say hi to my princess Cassie. This girl, she always wants to be around me anytime I'm cooking. So of course I was like, okay, bring her closer, let's wrap the okpa together. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this voiceover is because she kept crying. You guys, literally, there was no way this video could have worked if I didn't do this voiceover. Even as I'm speaking now, she's right here looking at me, waiting for me to finish so that she will continue. So as you can see, please make sure you add enough adequate water in the okpa. Yes, it's not like momo that needs steaming method. Okpa most likely needs boiling method and on a high heat. So I boiled it, and it's a point for like 45 minutes to 1 hour. So it's time for me to check what we have been doing, and I had to like cover with that sack bag. You can use foil, you can even cook without covering, but just want everything like to cook evenly, and also to save time as well and save gas. That's why I had to wrap it up with the bag. So at this point, you guys, literally the okpa looked so good. Like it is almost done, even though I think I cooked it for like more 10 minutes to make sure that everything is properly cooked. And when it is done, I drained the water completely. This is exactly what we have, like, and I allowed it to cool down. Even though long throat no green make I allowed the okpa cool down completely, because I was so hungry, and the aroma in the kitchen, like the oziza is optional, but it is needed. Put oziza in your okpa and thank me later. Like the flavor that thing gives to okpa is next level. My neighbors knew that there was something happening in my house. Like if not that my gate is locked, I know they will line up to come and eat. And also, like I said before, so I didn't say that before, I'm just saying it now. Okpa, you can eat it with, you can take it with Coke. Then we used to eat it with Coke, hey, or lacasera. I'm even salivating as I'm editing this video. You can also eat it with pap, but as a breastfeeding mom that I am, I eat mine with pap. And to be very honest, this helps you to lactate well. I'm on exclusively breastfeeding, and I'm not lacking milk at all. So this has actually been, you know, a great source of highly proteinous. You can see how it's bouncing. Like you can see how it's, just peep those red peppers. Deliciously delicious. Like my family enjoyed it. We had it with pap. It is highly proteinous, very nutritious, and I advised you to try out this recipe. I kept doing you guys long throats. Like I kept eating. One thing I love about okpa is the fact that it is good for kids. Like it is very, very good for them. You know, how do they get protein? A lot of kids don't like beans, but okpa, based on my findings, is even more or highly proteinous than beans. Okay, so let me know in the comments, will you be trying out this okpa? Let me know. Like, see, look at it now. See, this okpa go Harvard, go Harvard University. Let me know, people that watched up to this point, drop okpa where go Harvard in the comment section. Bye guys.